Welcome back to FM Story. In the last episode, we began season 16. It took us half a season to get a job, but we did finally get a job in Uruguay with Cerrito. We lost our first two games in the Torneo Intermedio final and in the third round of the Copa Uruguay, getting hammered by Nacional at the end of that last episode. Now it's time for the closing league phase to get started, and we need to do some work to find out what formation, what style of play is going to suit the squad that we've got. We don't have a chance to bring any players in because the registration and transfer windows are closed. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So we've not exactly set the world alight in the league phase so far. We've started with two 1-0 defeats. We lost 1-0 away at Liverpool. We'd switched to the 4-2-3-1 that they'd played in the first half of the season. It didn't seem to work. We didn't really have a recognised threat up front or someone that looked like they were going to put the ball in the back of the net. So we switched it up again and to try and make ourselves more solid and difficult to score against. And then we lost 1-0 to Albion, a penalty, but they had a load of chances and really should have scored more. So we are back to the 4-2-3-1 with a few tweaked player rules and team instructions for the game against Phoenix. I mean, we've not exactly started the season well. 2 games, 2 defeats, 0 points so far. Phoenix have won one and drawn one of their opening 2 games, so it's going to be a tough task. So, as I said, we've gone back to the 4-2-3-1. Damian Perez is coming up front. We have tweaked his role a bit to hopefully get more out of him. We've tweaked the team instructions because they can't seem to pass the ball to each other either. And then I think we might be in for another long game. Right, Ponti with a corner, in swing it to the post, it's flicked on. Perez drops back to pick it up. Finds Ponti in space, squares it. Shot's blocked. Anderson on the right, and nothing comes of it. And that's pretty much summed up the 4 games we've had in charge of Cerrito so far. We get chances, but we can't take them. A free kick, Perez to the back post, and the header goes over the top. Throw in Ferreira to take it. Ponti back to Ferreira. We're getting a bit of joy on this left-hand side. And there's Perez to head home. And finally, we've taken a chance. I mean, we did get one in the Intermedio Cup final, but we've not really looked that likely to take any of the chances we created in the opening league games. And there, Perez heads home to put us in front for the first time in our spell at the club. And there we are, half-time, 1-0 up. We've pretty much dominated our first half, and hopefully we can produce more of the same in the second. We've sent the same team out to start the second half, but I think Buzaglo might not last too much longer. Right, we've made a couple of other changes as well as Buzaglo coming off just to get some fresh legs on. But they've got a throw. It's the first time we've seen them in an attacking vein in any of these highlights so far. Cuts in and thankfully skies it. Right, we've got some more fresh legs on there. They're attacking on the right again though. Cross towards the back post. We've got a head on it. They're going to keep it from going out for the throw. And we've got a head on that one as well, but they've got the ball on the edge of the box. And thankfully that's over the top. Into the last couple of minutes. Corner for them as we approach injury time to the back post. We've got a head on it. And we've helped it clear. And now Burgos picks it up on the halfway line and then turns his man. He's running deep into their half with it. Finds Alonso in the box. His shot's blocked. Ferreira, though, with it. Cross towards the back post. It's headed clear. But we're going to pick up the loose ball as well. And the more we can keep him up here, the better we've got. And then it should have been a goal. We've headed it straight at the keeper, but we've got the corner. We can take a bit of time with it. We've got one of our centre-halves taking it. in, swing it to the near post, headed up in the air, and then they've cleared it. And we could do with making a foul here, or we've won it back anyway. And there we go, full time, 1-0, first clean sheet, first win with Cerrito, and hopefully this is a sign that we might be starting to turn a corner. We have a big game coming up away at River Plate, who are currently top of the table. We've played one game since that game against Phoenix that we saw, and it actually went better than you could ever believe. Considering how dodgy we've looked in front of goal, we managed to score 4 at home against Deportivo Maldonado, so not against the best opposition. And all 5 goals in the game came in a 22-minute spell in the second half. But Damian Perez with 2, Ponti got 2, and we came away with a 4-1 victory. Which means going into this game against River Plate, we've risen up from the bottom of the table where we were up to 10 with 6 points from 4 games. We do have games in hand on most of the teams above us as well. So we're starting to come into a pretty strong position. We just need to hopefully continue that form on that we've shown in the last 2 games. This is going to be one of the biggest tests we have in this closing stage of the season against River Plate. And looking at the player stats, we're going to have to probably keep Jose de Silva quiet, and certainly Elias Acosta in front of goal quiet. And they've got the most man of the matches from Wagner over the whole season, and the second most clean sheets in the season as well. So it's going to be asking a lot, but hopefully we can at least come away with a point from this game. So, as we said, River Plate right up at the top of the table with 11 points from their opening 5 games. This is going to be a tough task, but it'll be a sign of whether we have managed to turn things around, or whether it was just because of who we were playing that things have turned around. We've gone with the same team that started the last couple of games. I mean, we've really struggled to get on the ball in this opening 10 minutes, but nothing really has happened so far. We seem to be growing into the game as the half goes on. A free kick for us, Caballero to take it, lumps it into the box. It's headed clear as far as Ponti, who shoots from distance and had the keeper scrambling across goal, but unfortunately goes wide. Right, Ferreira with a free kick, infield to Wanderson. Ferreira, now Advaldo with some space to move into, finds Perez in the box, puts it past the keeper, but we're going to get a VAR check here. And it's been given. So Ferreira finds Advaldo, who has space to turn and run at the defence, and then slides a ball that takes out 3 defenders. And Perez, from around about the penalty spot, puts us 1-0 up. It's a very well-timed run. And a lovely finish. A corner for them. And they've equalised immediately. It's just a simple outswinger. Gets up on the run, beats our defenders. And that's 1-1. Now a throw for them. It's a pull back to the edge of the box, shot from distance, and luckily didn't have enough bend on it to get in the far post. They've got the ball on the left-hand side, infield. Down the line, low cross in. And it seems like our goal kind of woke them up in front of goal. They were immediately back on level terms, and then we've just not defended well here at all. Ball into the near post, fired in past the keeper, and then from the kick-off, back to Pintos. And he goes back to the keeper. Venderson back to the keeper again, who then goes long. And they've picked it up at the back. Back to their keeper. And now they're going to get another chance here before half-time. A lovely ball over the top. Thankfully, the finish goes wide. And half-time 2-1. And I think on the balance of play, you probably have to say they probably do deserve it. But we did take the lead, and then they woke up after that. And we need to be a lot better in the second half. Right, so we made a couple of changes at half-time to get some fresh legs on in areas of the pitch that we were struggling a bit in that first half. There's very little happening in the second half here. I mean, we've not seen a highlight yet in the second half, so into injury time. And we've got the ball in their half. Advaldo finds Caballero, who goes from distance and it's onto the roof of the net. And if that is the extent of the highlights in the second half, it has been a very, very boring second half. 2-1. I mean, we played well in spells, but overall weren't good enough. But we were playing a team that are top of the league. So I think given how we started the season, it wasn't too bad a performance. But we do need to put some consistency together. And there we are, the end of another episode. And we've managed to turn things around a touch with those 2 wins back to back. Obviously disappointing to lose that last game, having taken the lead, but River Plate are top of the table, so it was always going to be a tough task. Join us in the next episode to see how we get on, see if we can turn around this form fully. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.